You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
Most writers and radio show hosts know that to connect with your fans, you need to do more than just write books or record the latest podcasts. There are many different elements that go into forming an online platform, but there are also many hidden traps. To make matters worse, solid advice on how to survive the muddy waters is scarce. In the book Hidden Traps, I talk about some of the important issues of working with an online platform, highlighting traps that could put your physical or internet security at risk or be harmful to your reputation. Are your social media posts just links with a few disjointed words, making you look like someone who can't complete a sentence? Did your new website cost you more than you anticipated? Are you leaking your personal contact details across the web without even knowing it? Then you need Hidden Traps. Hidden Traps is now available in paperback and ebook from a variety of retailers, including Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Kobo. Visit blackwolfpublications.com for more details.
If you're 85 or younger, would you like peace of mind and comfort for your family? We're Final Expense Direct with an urgent message for you. The average funeral today costs over $8,000, but the most you'll get from government benefits is $255. How will your family pay the difference? We can help. Our senior plans start as low as just $1 a day and pay up to $30,000 for a funeral and other final expenses. Peace of mind is easy. There's no medical exam. You'll have lifetime coverage, and your plan can't be canceled as long as you pay your premiums. Call now for free information about our senior plans. Answer a few simple questions and receive approval right on the phone. Plus, call right now and we'll give you a discount prescription card for free. Call 800-553-8687. That's 800-553-8687. Again, 800-553-8687.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
Everyone loves liberty. Our rights come from God, not the government. So why are you letting other people tell you what's best for your health care? Exercise your freedom with Liberty Health Share. Liberty Health Share is a community of people who voluntarily share one another's medical costs. Liberty Health Share is founded on the idea that most people truly want to help one another. Healthcare sharing allows members to do just that as a true community that supports one another in times of need. Liberty believes people should make decisions for themselves and their families. Members are able to take back the freedom to make their own decisions about their health care. Freedom from guilt or doubt about how your money is used. You have the freedom to direct your health care, not to be dictated to by bureaucrats. Stop letting others tell you what to do and join a community of like-minded people. Exercise your freedom. Join Liberty Health Share and take back the control of your health care while helping those around you. Call Liberty at 855-58-LIBERTY. Again, that's 855-58-LIBERTY for more information, or you can check them out at libertyhealthshare.org. Again, that's libertyhealthshare.org.
My son was in the Army back during Desert Storm, but even then he wanted an MBA. He looked at a dozen schools, but only one offered the online education and flexibility he needed while he was in a tent in Iraq. Grantham University. Turns out that Grantham's been delivering affordable, relevant college and advanced degrees for over 65 years. Heck, if they can deliver a quality education to a soldier in a tent overseas, think about the flexibility Grantham can offer you so you can earn your degree too. It doesn't matter how complicated or full your life is. If getting a degree is on your bucket list, you'll want to do what my son did. You'll want to call Grantham. Find out how easy it is to get started on your education so you can check that college degree off your bucket list. Call Grantham right now. 800-910-1370. That's 800-910-1370. Flexible, affordable, relevant. Call 800-910-1370.
At St. Jude, a family never sees a bill at all. It's like the world has been lifted off of your shoulders.
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures, saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
Sometimes writers feel lost, unsure why a passage may not be working. takes another set of eyes to help us nurture our writing into full maturity. At Black Wolf Editorial Services, we strive to enable writers to develop and grow, offering manuscript critiques and line edits through a mentoring editorial style. We also offer assistance on generating a writer's bio for your websites. Black Wolf Editorial Services, nurturing your writing into maturity. For a full list of services, visit blackwolfeditorial.com.
You're listening to the Spark Radio Network, internet radio like you've never heard before. Innovation, creativity, and imagination are all said to begin with a spark. So fasten your seatbelt and take the ride of your life and listen for the spark.
Hello, America. Welcome to the America Off the Rails show. Here in a minute, anyway. This is Rick Robinson. We'll be live with you here in just about 60 seconds. I do have a special guest with us this evening. We have Jessica Sanders, our resident Middle East and international expert, is actually going to be talking American politics with us tonight. So if you haven't heard her do this before, this is fun. She doesn't do it very often. We're going to talk about the Roy Moore election, why everybody really shouldn't be wringing their hands about it all that much, and a few other things as well. Stay tuned for that. We're going to be back here in just about 60 seconds. Don't go away.
My son was in the Army back during Desert Storm, but even then he wanted an MBA. He looked at a dozen schools, but only one offered the online education and flexibility he needed while he was in a tent in Iraq. Grantham University. Turns out that Grantham's been delivering affordable, relevant college and advanced degrees for over 65 years. Heck, if they can deliver a quality education to a soldier in a tent overseas, think about the flexibility Grantham can offer you so you can earn your degree too. It doesn't matter how complicated or full your life is. If getting a degree is on your bucket list, you'll want to do what my son did. You'll want to call Grantham. Find out how easy it is to get started on your education so you can check that college degree off your bucket list. Call Grantham right now. 800-910-1370. That's 800-910-1370. Flexible, affordable, relevant. Call 800-910-1370.
Attention business owners and
keep on doing what you do, Rick. You're my favorite host. Favorite host.
You know this freedom is anything but free. What we have here depends on those who will fight for what they believe. When we stand together, there's nothing that we can't achieve. This nation of people standing as one in the name of liberty.
Good evening, America. Welcome to America Off the Rails. This is Rick Robinson. We're coming to you live right now from KARNradio.com, where liberty and reason still reign. We do this thing now every Tuesday through Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Got about a minute and a half late start tonight because, as usual, computers hate me. But anyway, so I hope everybody's having a great Tuesday. Thank God it's no longer Monday. Can we just say that for just a second? Take a deep breath. We've made it through Monday. Now we're almost through Tuesday. Actually, wait a minute. Today's Wednesday, huh? See, this is what happens when you start your show on a different day. Yesterday felt like Monday to me because it was the first day of the show. So, yeah, guess what? It's not Monday. It's no longer Tuesday. Now it's almost not hump day. So tomorrow it's Thursday, or what I like to call Friday Eve. We do have a guest with us this evening who'll be joining us here in just a second. I just want to take a second to do something that I usually do, and now's about the perfect time to do it. Want to give a quick shout-out to the affiliates that do carry the show. Of course, you have the home station here, KLRNradio.com, where we're on now every Tuesday through Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Now we also are on the Talk America Radio Network, the Liberty Channel. That one is back now and live. That's every Monday through Friday at 6 a.m. Eastern. The Lanterns Radio Network every Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. Eastern. AMFM247.com every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern. And then, of course, the CRNDigitalTalk.com group. We are on over there every Saturday and Sunday, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 Central, 7 Pacific. And the show is available on a plethora of podcast sites. Yes, I say it that way because station manager Ann gets us added to new ones every day. Last I heard, she was working on like 5 or 6 more. I haven't heard anything else about where else we've landed, but we might get her on at some point to talk about that. I doubt it. She doesn't really do much work in front of the mic, but we'll keep trying. Anyway, so we're going to take the first break here in just a second. Want to just let you know, the ones that I promote the most as far as the podcast sites, those are the easiest ones to find. So those are iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher, FM Player, Google Play Music, Pocket Cast, iHeartRadio, and I know I'm missing about a half a dozen others. Again, remember, one of these days I'll actually write all this stuff down and work it into a commercial or something. But on that note, we're going to get the first break out of the way. When I come back, we'll have our guest Jessica Sanders with us. And again, she's not going to be doing the usual Middle Eastern international thing tonight. She's actually going to weigh in on some American political stuff. It's going to be fun to listen to. It's always great when she steps into the ring and starts talking American politics. It's not something she does very often. Actually, she never used to do it at all until we started making her sit in on the roundtable shows after the election coverages, and so now every once in a while she likes to do that. But we'll be right back here in about 60 seconds with a guest. You stay tuned. Don't go away.
You're out here acting so tough, and now I'm calling your bluff. Black hoods and no faces.
Everyone loves liberty. Our rights come from God, not the government. So why are you letting other people tell you what's best for your health care? Exercise your freedom with Liberty Health Share. Liberty Health Share is a community of people who voluntarily share one another's medical costs. Liberty Health Share is founded on the idea that most people truly want to help one another. Healthcare sharing allows members to do just that as a true community that supports one another in times of need. Liberty believes people should make decisions for themselves and their families. Members are able to take back the freedom to make their own decisions about their health care. Freedom from guilt or doubt about how your money is used. You have the freedom to direct your health care, not to be dictated to by bureaucrats. Stop letting others tell you what to do and join a community of like-minded people. Exercise your freedom. Join Liberty Health Share and take back the control of your health care while helping those around you. Call Liberty at 855-58-LIBERTY. Again, that's 855-58-LIBERTY for more information, or you can check them out at libertyhealthshare.org. Again, that's libertyhealthshare.org.
You're out here acting so tough, and now I'm calling your bluff. Black hoods and no faces. We'll take it out to the streets. That's where we...
All right, folks, welcome back. This is America Off the Rails, and as I mentioned, I do have a guest with me this evening, Jessica Sanders, host of her, actually, she does 2 shows here on KLRNradio.com. She does Jesse's POV and Jesse's Coffee Shop, both of which are on iHeartRadio. She actually has a guest that will be coming on with her this evening, so I do encourage you to check that out. But instead of me telling you all about it, why don't we go ahead and let her talk for a bit. Good evening, Miss Jessica. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Hey, do you know what tonight is?
What's tonight?
Well, let's see. It's the second night of Hanukkah, and I'm having Justin Kinney on my show.
Awesome.
On both counts, thank you.
Actually, I always forget that Hanukkah starts so much earlier than Christmas. So you're on night 2 already?
We're on night 2 already. In fact, I used special Hanukkah bumper music last night.
I should have had you ship that over to me. I could have used it for tonight's show when I realized you were going to be on. But...
It's actually in the soundboard. I uploaded it.
I'll have to find it. Maybe we'll use some of it tonight. All right, so you said you wanted to come on tonight to talk American politics, which you don't do that often. So I'm going to let you take point on this. Where do you want to go first?
Okay. First, I want to talk about first of all, the Alabama election. I'm sad that the Republicans lost a seat. I am thrilled that Roy Moore did not win.
Yeah,
I know that
there aren't too many people saying that, so why don't you explain a little bit? Because I happen to agree with you, but most people seem like they're afraid to say what you just said, so keep going.
Okay. I am sick and tired, absolutely sick and tired, of these politicians running around saying things like, putting out all these platitudes. And they'll do things, they'll pass all these bills and legislation, but they can't behave themselves. Well, you know what? I don't care what your status in life, what your job title is, what your military rank, pay grade, or anything else is. No means no. Period. End of sentence. Now, I do not want someone, granted, I will say that these allegations have not been proven in a court of law. But in my opinion, politicians need to be above reproach. You need to put yourself in a position where no one can make that claim against you.
Exactly, which is one of the things that I find the craziest of all is, you remember during the campaign when Mike Pence talked about his rule about not having any type of meetings or anything with women without his wife present, no late night dinners between colleagues.
Just women alone, right.
Yeah, well, no late night dinners with female colleagues alone unless his wife's present, nothing, and everybody made fun of him for it. But when you
now, you know who's been proven right? Thank you, Mike Pence. Somebody actually has morals and values and stands by them.
I know.
That's fan-freaking-tastic.
You remember when we actually used to applaud things like that instead of making fun of them, though? That's the thing that I think has driven me the most crazy about 2016 and now 2017, is it seems like people with morals are the ones that everybody's like, oh my God, you're just not normal. It's okay to have dinner with a woman. You're making things harder for women in the workplace because you're not willing to do those things. No, what's making things harder for women in the workplace is, first of all, we do know that there are certain women that make claims like this that are not true, and I'm not detracting from anybody who makes the statements when they are true statements. But what does make things harder for women in the workplace is the people that do decide to make claims like this and they wind up being unfounded. What also makes things harder for women in the workplace is the fact that for some reason this has been going on in some cases 40, 50 years and nobody thought they needed to say anything until now. This one little thing that came out snowballed into the point where now we have allegations coming out from pretty much every part of Hollywood, all parts of DC. I just saw the other day that there's like a world-renowned chef that has had accusations against him. It's just crazy right now. All of the different things that are coming out, and some of these people that have these accusations against them, they're like, I mean, they're just. I mean, there's no other way to say it. They're ugly people. I'm looking at this thing. I'm looking at this going, why in the world? Ew, no. No. The whole thing is just crazy to me.
Well, I will say, and I am not putting down any woman that has actually been sexually assaulted, or forced into something against her will. But let's not forget the class of women who think they can sleep their way to the top.
Yeah, we can't really forget about those women either, because, I mean, they do exist, whether we'd like to think about it or not. But I think the biggest thing to think about is in reference to the whole Roy Moore situation is this is, believe it or not, and people disagree with me, and they've disagreed with me when I said this all the way back in November when I started saying that Roy Moore needed to step aside. I was one of two people that I know of on the same day that basically came out and said the same thing, and it was pretty much the day the story broke. That at this point, this isn't about the single person, this is about the party. Roy Moore should step aside, make room for somebody else, even if they have to, make the announcement, it's too late for us to change the ballots, but when you vote for Roy Moore, you'll be voting for this person who was appointed by the governor to take his place instead. Because that may have been a way to save this. That would have also taken him out of the press, which would have probably helped him, if he is innocent, prove his innocence. But the fact that he stayed in it, if he is innocent, then all he did was feed the fire with the fact that he kept saying, with the things that he kept saying in places like the Sean Hannity show.
And I gotta say, the stunt about riding the horses to the polls. Really? He and his wife rode horses to his polling place to cast their votes.
Yeah, that's a country thing, though.
it came across as a stunt. It really did. It came across as well, we want you to have something to talk about besides just me and what I may or may not have done, so we're going to bring the horses into this. Give the horse a break. There are people who I actually found a couple of articles, and I'm not going to mention where they were because they weren't your mainstream people. They were wacko blogosphere, saying that the horse should have bucked him off and the horse needs to be shot for letting him ride.
Yeah, it's a little crazy.
Keep the horse out of this.
I mean, why are you gonna? The horse was just doing what it's been trained to do. Why are you gonna shoot the horse? That comment doesn't make any sense to me. But yeah, it's
blogosphere.
Well, we're talking about the blogosphere here. There are some really weird people on the blogosphere. Some of them have actually been made famous by the blogosphere. One of them got it completely wrong. There's a certain guy with a lisp who shall remain nameless on this show, who basically on November 15th put out a tweet and said, screen cap this, Roy Moore is going to win unless he drops out of the race. Guess what? He didn't win. Just saying. Alright, so we've got a break coming up. We might as well get that out of the way now. This is America Off the... Go ahead, sorry, hang on. Go ahead.
He didn't win by the number of write-in votes.
I know, the number... Well, actually, that's kind of funny. I was going to talk about that when we got back. The number of write-in votes exceeded the amount that he lost by, so that's kind of funny. All right, so we'll be right back. This is America Off the Rails. I'm your host, Rick Robinson. Back in about 3.
You're out here acting so tough, and now I'm calling your bluff. Black hoods and no faces.
My son was in the Army back during Desert Storm, but even then he wanted an MBA. He looked at a dozen schools, but only one offered the online education and flexibility he needed while he was in a tent in Iraq, Grantham University. Turns out that Grantham's been delivering affordable, relevant college and advanced degrees for over 65 years. Heck, if they can deliver a quality education to a soldier in a tent overseas, think about the flexibility Grantham can offer you so you can earn your degree too. It doesn't matter how complicated or full your life is. If getting a degree is on your bucket list, you'll want to do what my son did. You'll want to call Grantham. Find out how easy it is to get started on your education so you can check that college degree off your bucket list. Call Grantham right now. 800-910-1370. That's 800-910-1370. Flexible, affordable, relevant. Call 800-910-1370.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
Attention business owners and independent contractors. This is a money-saving message from Tax Mediation Services. If your business owes $20,000 or more in taxes, we can help you today, right now. Listen, dealing with the IRS is no picnic. It's an intimidating and extremely stressful process, and you don't want to go it alone. Our attorneys know every law, every tax break, and every possible opportunity to help you resolve and reduce your tax debt. And if you owe more than $20,000, you may be at the top of their hit list. So don't take your tax debt lightly, because it will not go away on its own. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, your home, and even shut down your business. Call our tax experts today at 1-800-783-0810 and let us deal with the IRS while you focus on your business. That's 1-800-783-0810. Again, that's 800-783-0810.
right, folks, welcome back. So just to round out the topic with Roy Moore, there's one other thing that I wanted to say about this. Despite what the Democrats are telling you, this is not a referendum against Donald Trump in any way, shape, or form. Roy Moore was a flawed candidate from jump. Roy Moore was somebody who actually couldn't even keep a job in his state Supreme Court not once but twice. He made comments in his local press about how we should have stopped after the 10th Amendment. There's a couple of pretty important amendments that happened after 10. One of them freed the slaves. The others gave women rights to vote. So I'm not sure how many people he was trying to offend by that statement, but he pretty much managed to offend everybody. The reason he lost is very simple. He's a flawed candidate. I'm tired of Republicans putting up what are really, really terrible candidates. I had the same problem with Donald Trump. That's the reason I didn't vote for him in the first place. But I'm also not going to be the guy sitting here rooting for the Titanic, because Donald Trump is doing the best he can with what he's got to work with, which is basically the fact that everybody hates him, even though he's the president of the United States. Roy Moore would not have helped him. Roy Moore would have hurt him. Roy Moore would have hurt the entire Republican Party, because we've removed one of the biggest arguments they had this season by the fact that he didn't get elected, because everybody thought that we were trying to embrace a pedophile, and that we would have been if he would have allowed to have been seated. The problem is it doesn't matter whether he committed those acts or not, because everything's all about court of public opinion anymore. And that's why I said if it were me and I was in the same position that Roy Moore was in, I would have stepped aside, went off to fight my battle out of the press, and then did what I could to resurrect my political career later if I was proven to have been innocent. Because it would have made everything a lot easier on everybody, and we probably wouldn't be down a seat right now. But we are, at least probably some point in January. Moore's only saving grace could be the military ballots that haven't been counted yet, because as Jess mentioned before we went off to commercial break, he actually lost by almost the number of writers franchise with the choice that they had.
It was slightly less than the number of write-ins, so yeah, it was pretty close. But most absentee ballots actually have to be received by Election Day.
No, they've been received, they just haven't been certified
so,
yet.
Okay.
Yeah, they have the votes, they just haven't started counting them yet. They have until Tuesday to do that. So that's what Moore's hoping for, is that by the time the absentee ballots are counted, that he might be at least to within the 0.5% margin to trigger a recount, so that his team doesn't have to vote for it, because he's not, or pay for it, because he's not giving up. I honestly think he should. I think he should just pack it in, and basically...
Roy, it's time to take a long walk off a short plank and go stick to horseback riding.
I couldn't have said it better myself. All right, so do you have anything else you want to add?
Go stick to horseback riding and get out of politics. Not on that.
It's because we're coming up on the bottom of the hour break, so if we don't have anything else to add on this one, we might as well just take that break now and then come back and... Everyone loves liberty. Our rights come from God, not the government. So why are you letting other people tell you what's best for your healthcare? Exercise your freedom with Liberty Health Share. Liberty Health Share is a community of people who voluntarily share one another's medical costs. Liberty Health Share is founded on the idea that most people truly want to help one another. Healthcare sharing allows members to do just that as a true community that supports one another in times of need. Liberty believes people should make decisions for themselves and their families. Members are able to take back the freedom to make their own decisions about their healthcare. Freedom from guilt or doubt about how your money is used. You have the freedom to direct your healthcare, not to be dictated to by bureaucrats. Stop letting others tell you what to do and join a community of like-minded people. Exercise your freedom. Join Liberty Health Share and take back the control of your healthcare while helping those around you. Call Liberty at 855-58-LIBERTY. Again, that's 855-58-LIBERTY for more information, or you can check them out at libertyhealthshare.org. Again, that's libertyhealthshare.org.
My son was in the Army back during Desert Storm, but even then he wanted an MBA. He looked at a dozen schools, but only one offered the online education and flexibility he needed while he was in a tent in Iraq. Grantham University. Turns out that Grantham's been delivering affordable, relevant college and advanced degrees for over 65 years. Heck, if they can deliver a quality education to a soldier in a tent overseas, think about the flexibility Grantham can offer you so you can earn your degree too. It doesn't matter how complicated or full your life is. If getting a degree is on your bucket list, you'll want to do what my son did. You'll want to call Grantham. Find out how easy it is to get started on your education so you can check that college degree off your bucket list. Call Grantham right now. 800-910-1370. That's 800-910-1370. Flexible, affordable, relevant. Call 800-910-1370.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
Attention business owners and independent contractors. This is a money-saving message from Tax Mediation Services. If your business owes $20,000 or more in taxes, we can help you today, right now. Listen, dealing with the IRS is no picnic. It's an intimidating and extremely stressful process, and you don't want to go it alone. Our attorneys know every law, every tax break, and every possible opportunity to help you resolve and reduce your tax debt. And if you owe more than $20,000, you may be at the top of their hit list. So don't take your tax debt lightly, because it will not go away on its own. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, your home, and even shut down your business. Call our tax experts today at 1-800-783-0810 and let us deal with the IRS while you focus on your business. That's 1-800-783-0810. Again, that's 800-783-0810.
All right, folks, welcome back. So in between Jen and Rick last night and this show tonight, I think we've talked about the Roy Moore topic quite enough. There's actually some other things in the news we definitely need to talk about. This one was actually brought to my attention by the guest sitting with me today. I was unaware that the House and Senate have apparently reached a tax package deal. This is coming from the AP. Washington, this is from Washington, of course. House and Senate GOP leaders forged an agreement Wednesday on a sweeping overhaul of the nation's tax laws, paving the way for final votes next week to slash taxes for businesses, give many Americans modest cuts, and deliver the first major legislative accomplishment to President Donald Trump. Top GOP aides said lawmakers had reached an agreement in principle on the final package. They spoke on the condition of anonymity because they were not authorized to talk publicly about private negotiations. The article goes on to say that the broad parameters of the deal call for cutting of the top tax rate for the wealthy from a whopping 39.6% all the way down to 37%. For all you Democrats right now screaming that everybody's going to die in the streets because of this, we're talking about a 2.6% cut. That's the biggest cuts apparently seem to be for the corporate rate, from the current rate of 35% down to 21%, which is a good idea because corporations, the less taxes they pay, hopefully the more money they'll start allowing other people to keep. But who knows? What do I know? And allowing homeowners to deduct interest on the first $750,000 of a new mortgage. Too bad that wasn't around in 2015 when I bought my house. The bill, according to senior congressional aides, also allows taxpayers to deduct up to $10,000 in state and local taxes, either in property taxes or income taxes, Ooh, that's good to know. The bill also allows people to continue to file for medical expense deductions, but temporarily sets a lower cost threshold, 7.5% of adjusted gross income, down from 10%. So all in all, this seems like it's a bit of a departure from the original bill, to the point where there were some of the things that everybody was complaining about that apparently are going to be put back in there. So, and some of those things that they were getting rid of, I really didn't understand some of why they were doing it anyway. I did kind of agree with the whole idea of not really being able to get deductions for your state taxes, because that puts the burden back on the state to basically make people understand exactly how much they're being robbed in places like California and New York. So I'm not so sure I agree with them putting that back in there, but if we're one step closer to getting a major tax overhaul in this country, I'm all for it, because taxes have become nuts. Just saying.
Boy, do I agree with you. When it takes a professional paid tax person to do my taxes, because my husband was deployed or served overseas for less than the full 365 exact calendar days of the year, but more than this much and less than that, and this was this kind of zone, and he was in 3 different places, so we have 4 different forms to fill out.
Yeah, the amount of paperwork is nuts.
Bonkers.
I remember as a small business owner for very, very many years, we actually would wind up going to a paid tax preparer because it was just so much easier to have them go through and sort it all back out and put it back together for us. And, part of the simplification process on this, though, is if they do half of what they're talking about doing, imagine how much easier it's going to be to file your taxes to begin with. Imagine how many less Internal Revenue Service workers we're going to need if this reform is simply a first step, as they claim that it's going to be, to move us into an area where we don't have to have an army of basically what have become federal stormtroopers marching out. And I mean, you got to realize the IRS was weaponized under Obamacare. That's one of the biggest things that happened that nobody talks about. The IRS became an enforcement arm for the government. That was never actually their intention.
I want to say Loretta Lynch, but I think I might be off on that one. Or am I right?
No, I believe it did happen under. Yeah, I think it happened under Lynch, because I think it was. I'm pretty sure it was after Holder.
Yep, it was Lynch.
So yeah, you were right. So, I mean, this is good news. And I really like the fact that they seem to have kind of stepped up on this, because everybody was like, well, now that we're losing a seat, we're not sure we're going to be able to do this. And, of course, Chucky Schumer's like, I don't think this should be voted on right now. I think it should be delayed until the senator from Alabama can be sworn in. They still have a senator right now. His elected term doesn't start until the vote is certified, which probably won't happen until some point in January. So they still have a sitting senator right now. So yes, they should be able to move forward. You guys are using the same argument that you complained about that the Republicans were using about the Supreme Court justice. So no, at this point we still, and honestly, it still isn't enough to change the majority. So probably it's going to pass even with him being put in, because they still have the vice president as the tiebreaker.
I got something slightly related to that, but not completely, that just cracked me up. And unless you are absolutely a news junkie like I am, and Rick, I read news all around the world, whether I read U.S. stuff and just don't talk about it on air, I've got to bring this up. If nothing else, it's great for a laugh.
Go ahead.
All right. What most people don't know, Playboy has a White House correspondent. Okay. Yeah. How many people knew that one? Then this Playboy White House correspondent gets called on during the press conference the day before Moore's election and has the nerve to ask Sarah Huckabee Sanders, while she's at the podium, if she has ever been sexually assaulted.
Wow. No, I hadn't heard anything about that, so that's crazy.
I mean, no offense, but it just goes to show how far cuckoo our world has become. Now, the reason I brought up cuckoo is today's House Judiciary Committee oversight hearing was supposed to be mostly about the FBI and the Russia investigation, right?
Supposed to be.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Not. And I'm looking for the person's name, but someone was complaining that in August 2017, the FBI did a report on, I think it was African American extremism. And then she went on I forget, I didn't catch her name, but I'll just play you part of her after the guy said, I wasn't even at the FBI then. I don't know. This was her response and his. It's a little long, but boy we're in the middle of talking about Robert Mueller and whether or not this one guy is a partisan hack, and you use your 5 minutes for this?
And so maybe you could talk a little bit about the general issue,
Yes.
in particular, when the FBI began tracking black identity extremism.
I think it's important for me to explain, Congresswoman, that the FBI does not make a determination with regard to domestic groups to investigate them based upon their First Amendment views or their affiliation. It bases its decisions on evidence of a propensity to violence. So with regard to members of...
Okay. Now that's the way the FBI should do it, based on a propensity to violence. But this woman was going on about, she was bringing up, how, she was talking about how law enforcement's against blacks. Everybody else is talking Russia. So I'm sitting here going, one of these things is not like the others?
That's funny because that song was going through my head right before you said that. One of these things is not like the others.
It's not like the others. Yeah.
But anyway.
Houston, get a grip.
Something. So, some other interesting things have kind of come out over this whole Mueller investigation, because now we're finding out that a lot of the folks that have been involved in this investigation were squarely in the Never Trump column. And actually, a lot of them have actually donated to Hillary Clinton. Sorry, Ron, I know I said actually twice. And a few other things, but we're actually going to take a quick break to gear up to change topics. We'll probably come back and talk about the Mueller thing a bit more in depth, because I heard some interesting things today, because they actually were talking about that on the Hill today, and I heard some interesting questions that I haven't really heard being talked about much of anywhere else. This is America Off the Rails. I'm your host, Rick Robinson. We'll be right back here in just about 2 minutes. Stay tuned.
You're out here acting so tough, and now I'm calling your bluff. Black hoods and no faces.
My son was in the Army back during Desert Storm, but even then he wanted an MBA. He looked at a dozen schools, but only one offered the online education and flexibility he needed while he was in a tent in Iraq. Grantham University. Turns out that Grantham's been delivering affordable, relevant college and advanced degrees for over 65 years. Heck, if they can deliver a quality education to a soldier in a tent overseas, think about the flexibility Grantham can offer you so you can earn your degree too. It doesn't matter how complicated or full your life is. If getting a degree is on your bucket list, you'll want to do what my son did. You'll want to call Grantham. Find out how easy it is to get started on your education so you can check that college degree off your bucket list. Call Grantham right now. 800-910-1370. That's 800-910-1370. Flexible, affordable, relevant. Call 800-910-1370.
Attention business owners and independent contractors. This is a money-saving message from Tax Mediation Services. If your business owes $20,000 or more in taxes, we can help you today, right now. Listen, dealing with the IRS is no picnic. It's an intimidating and extremely stressful process, and you don't want to go it alone. Our attorneys know every law, every tax break, and every possible opportunity to help you resolve and reduce your tax debt. And if you owe more than $20,000, you may be at the top of their hit list. So don't take your tax debt lightly, because it will not go away on its own. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, your home, and even shut down your business. Call our tax experts today at 1-800-783-0810 and let us deal with the IRS while you focus on your business. That's 1-800-783-0810. Again, that's 800-783-0810.
Welcome back, folks. This is America Off the Rails. I'm your host, Rick Robinson. We are coming towards the bottom of the show here, folks, but we still got some other important things to talk about. One of them is going to be the whole Mueller investigation. Is it Mueller or is it Mueller? I've heard it pronounced both ways. I'm not sure how it's actually supposed to be pronounced. However, the one thing that I do know is I don't think this investigation is going in any way, shape, or form in the hopes that the folks that actually had requested it have gone. For those of you who are not following along at home, the main thrust of the investigation has been for the supposed Russia collusion between the Trump campaign and, members of the Trump campaign and, of course, Russia. And it was triggered by the fact that the newly elected president of the United States, Donald Trump, actually fired FBI Director Comey. The thing that I've never understood about this is the FBI director serves at the pleasure of the president. This is one of those things that he basically kind of gets to do, is appoint people to do those jobs. So the fact that he elected to fire Comey, after, I might add, several people that were, some of which were holdovers from the Obama administration, had advised him to fire Comey, and it triggered this whole avalanche of a crap storm that we're still dealing with now today, almost at this point, over a year later, is insanity to me, because there's nothing here. If there was any type of Russian collusion that was going to be able to stick, they would have already found something by now. The only thing they found are procedural indictments, and indictments for things that happened well before a lot of these people were even involved in the Trump campaign. Now, I even heard it earlier today. Somebody actually said that as far as they knew, Flynn didn't actually even ever lie to the FBI, but for some reason he still took the plea deal from them. Now, if that's true, why did they? I mean, again, I just, as the news comes out, I comment on it. I don't even understand why we're still here.
Okay, well, first of all, in lying to the FBI, they can claim you're lying to them if you tell them you were wearing a blue shirt 3 years ago, and then you think about it and go, no, it was a teal shirt. They can claim you were lying.
Yeah, I guess you got a point there.
So it could be the most minute of picayune details. Now, during the Hillary Clinton thing, I became a Trey Gowdy fan. I have got to play a little bit of his audio from today. And the first few seconds are just absolutely fantastic. Right there. Come on.
I got nothing.
Okay, hang on. Let me get it queued back up. Sorry, I had it turned off.
They're going to ask me what in the hell is going on with the Department of Justice and the FBI. The reason we have special counsel, this is a very important point, and you know it. The reason we have special counsel is because of a conflict of interest. The regulation itself specifically makes reference to a conflict of interest. And we don't like conflicts of interest because it undercuts people's confidence in both the process and the result.
But tell me that first little bit just wasn't the perfect clip.
Yeah, pretty much. So, I have a question about some of this, though, because, we're talking about the whole Russian thing. We're talking about the Roy Moore thing. We've been kind of talking about that tonight, too. So I have a question. Now that Roy Moore didn't win the election, because we all know that there's not going to be enough of a difference for him to be able to claim a recount unless he tries to pay for it, when is Al Franken resigning? Because, I seem to remember him stating that he was going to be resigning. I'm pretty sure he was waiting to see what happened with the Roy Moore election to see if he had a leg to stand on in keeping his job.
I didn't catch it, Rick.
Al Franken,
who knows?
This guy? Oh, no, I don't have him queued up. Dang it, he's not in here.
That's okay, I don't need to hear him.
Oh, but it's funny. It's from a Saturday Night Live thing. Anyway, you're lucky it wasn't queued up. Anyway, it's Mr. God doggone it, I'm smart enough, I'm good enough, and people like me. That guy used to play Stuart Smalley on Saturday Night Live before he became senator. Honestly, can't really see too much of a difference between the Smalley character and what he's done in the Senate either. Anyway. But yeah, so, that's one of my questions is when is he going to be resigning? Because he hasn't yet. Go figure. But
you know what I'm waiting for?
What?
Honestly, I think McCain is going to retire. Now, everybody's going, no, he's not, no, he's not, no, he's not. All right. And this is one of those little tidbits that only I would have found. I was doing my show prep for my show, so I go to different sources. I don't hang out on C-SPAN like the rest of you, and I do very little trolling of White House press briefings unless the president's out of the country. But I was over on DVids, which is where I get most of my mill stuff, and the Army Chief of Staff hosted John McCain just after Veterans Day for a special hour-and-a-half long twilight tattoo ceremony to honor him. And the speech sounded either like a retirement speech or a eulogy or a combination of both.
Well, actually, I've heard bits and pieces of it, and you're right. It actually sounds like kind of a goodbye ceremony. I guess we'll have to wait and see. But, honestly, it's not going to hurt my feelings any if he does go away. Because he just, I don't know. He's a great person. I think I would probably like him if I ever met him personally. He's a war hero. I've never taken any of that away from him. But I don't like some of the things that he's done while he's been in the Senate, especially since Trump has gotten into office. I just think he's basically become a cranky, bitter old man who needs to fly off into the sunset. But we've got one last break. We have got to get out of the way, folks. This is America Off the Rails. We'll be back to wrap up the show here in just about 3 minutes. Stay tuned.
You're out here acting so tough, and now I'm calling your bluff. Black hoods and no faces.
My son was in the Army back during Desert Storm, but even then he wanted an MBA. He looked at a dozen schools, but only one offered the online education and flexibility he needed while he was in a tent in Iraq. Grantham University. Turns out that Grantham's been delivering affordable, relevant college and advanced degrees for over 65 years. Heck, if they can deliver a quality education to a soldier in a tent overseas, think about the flexibility Grantham can offer you so you can earn your degree too. It doesn't matter how complicated or full your life is. If getting a degree is on your bucket list, you'll want to do what my son did. You'll want to call Grantham. Find out how easy it is to get started on your education so you can check that college degree off your bucket list. Call Grantham right now. 800-910-1370. That's 800-910-1370. Flexible, affordable, relevant. Call 800-910-1370.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 $3 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
Attention business owners and independent contractors. This is a money-saving message from Tax Mediation Services. If your business owes $20,000 or more in taxes, we can help you today, right now. Listen, dealing with the IRS is no picnic. It's an intimidating and extremely stressful process, and you don't want to go it alone. Our attorneys know every law, every tax break, and every possible opportunity to help you resolve and reduce your tax debt. And if you owe more than $20,000, you may be at the top of their hit list. So don't take your tax debt lightly, because it will not go away on its own. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, your home, and even shut down your business. Call our tax experts today at 1-800-783-0810 and let us deal with the IRS while you focus on your business. That's 1-800-783-0810. Again, that's 800-783-0810.
You're out here acting so tough, and now I'm calling your bluff.
Hey, back that up and let that play. I like that. Maybe we should talk about that. All right, folks, welcome back. This is America Off the Rails. I'm your host, Rick Robinson. We were listening to some clips on the break. I'm trying to see if she can get it queued back up again, because that actually was kind of the last thing I wanted to talk about. So,
got it.
All right, hit it whenever you're ready.
And we have a senior DOJ official, Mr. Deputy Attorney General, with an office that used to be 2 doors down from yours, meeting with Fusion GPS. And Fusion GPS, of course, was paying for Russian dirt on the very person that they're supposed to be objectively investigating. And then that same senior DOJ official's wife, the one that met with Fusion GPS, his wife was on the payroll of Fusion GPS. And then we have a senior agent assigned to investigate Secretary Clinton's email, help draft the exoneration letter. Well, we changed the language from grossly negligent to extremely careless. Interviewed Secretary Clinton in an interview I've never seen, and I doubt you have either in your career as a prosecutor. Interviewed Michael Flynn, was actively involved in the investigation into the Trump campaign before the Inspector General found his text.
Is that good, Rick?
No, that's perfect, because that actually kind of nutshells everything that I wanted to talk about with this, and the fact that, to use military parlance, this whole thing has been a major Charlie Foxtrot. We're talking about the fact that a sitting administration had targeted an incoming administration, and at some point even an incoming campaign, to assist the other campaign, and nobody's talking about any of that. This is how twisted all of this is. If you really start to look at all the pieces, the only thing that we've been able to find out so far is that if there was any collusion, it was between the sitting president of the United States and presidential candidate Hillary Clinton. And not to mention the DNC, because let's not forget that while all of this was coming to pass, they were basically screwing Bernie Sanders out of the nomination. So if there's been any collusion, it's collusion among Democrats, among sitting administrations, among the head of the DNC. It doesn't have anything to do with the Republicans. And everything that we keep finding keeps pointing back to the same direction. But they're just frantically holding on to this until they can find something to come at Trump with, because the problem with a special prosecutor, everybody says they like to use them because of the whole thing that Gowdy mentioned earlier. We don't like biases. We don't like those type of things. So that's when special prosecutors come into play. But the problem with this is using a special prosecutor isn't like using a scalpel. It's like using a shotgun. Once they start digging, they can keep digging until they find something. That's what happened to Bill Clinton. That's what will at some point probably happen to this president. Because what the special prosecutor against Clinton started out looking for isn't what he wound up finding, but he did find something that they were able to pin on him that he eventually perjured himself in front of the Senate for. So that's why he was impeached But at the same time, he was impeached, but he was never removed because the Senate wouldn't bring charges. There are way too many people in this country that don't understand how this process works. There are way too many people in this country that are just salivating for Trump to be impeached. Even if they can find something to impeach him for, it doesn't necessarily mean that he's ever going to be removed from office. If they find something to impeach him for, I doubt it will have anything to do with the original scope of this investigation. What we should be doing at this point is having the Department of Justice look into this collusion between the DNC, a sitting president, and a candidate, because that's where all the scandals are. That's where all the skeletons are, and they keep trying to push us away from them. But on that note, we are just about out of time, so why don't you go ahead and remind folks again that here in a bit you're going to be on and you're going to have a guest, that kind of stuff.
All right, I will be live tonight at 9 p.m. with my absolute favorite recurring guest, none other than Justin Kinney. Yes, the same guy that can explain to you how the Middle East got the borders it has today. Yes, he will be on with me tonight, and boy, do we have a lot to talk about, because just as crazy as the U.S. news, so goes the international.
All right, folks, on that note, we are out of time. This is Rick Robinson. I'll be back with you live tomorrow night with my co-hosted edition with my co-host, Social Claude. And then, of course, we have the new Friday edition, so the week is not over for us yet. We're going to get out of here. We have a best of for the Conservative Curmudgeon show up next. It will be playing as a live stream, so no, you don't have to go find it. Click on the podcast. I'll have it up here in just a couple seconds. And then, of course, we'll make sure it shuts down in time for Jess's show to kick off at 9. This is America Off the Rails. We'll be with you again tomorrow night. Stay tuned. God bless. We'll see you when we see you.